Okay, I'm going to do problem number 58, and the equation asks us to solve sine squared theta equals 6 cosine theta plus 1 on the range of 0, including 0 to 2 pi, not included. So let's go ahead and rewrite the equation, the original. Sine squared theta equals 6 times cosine theta plus 1. And if we look at this equation, we see that sine squared theta is possibly able to be factored, or not factored, but rewritten using a formula. And we have a cosine theta over here, and this one's squared, and it's able to be manipulated, so we might want a cosine theta here. So we look at the Pythagorean formula, sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. And we can manipulate this to equal 1 minus cosine squared theta. So if you replace sine squared theta with 1 minus cosine squared theta, you can factor the whole equation. So replace the sine squared theta with 1 minus cosine squared theta. And it's all algebra from here. So go ahead and FOIL this side. Rewrite this one. And you're left with 6 cosine theta plus 6. And you're going to set it all equal to 0, so you're going to want to have it all on one side. So we don't want a negative here, preferably, so go ahead and add cosine squared theta to the right side and subtract 1 from the left side and subtract it to the right side as well. And you're left with cosine squared theta plus 6 cosine theta plus 5 equals 0. And now you're going to factor it. So cosine theta and cosine theta, because it's cosine squared theta, and it's all equals 0. And you have to have two factors that add up, factors of 5 that add up to 6. So the factors that would add up to 6 would be 5 and 1. You can just guess and check on these. Oh, my bad. 5 and 1. And so you're going to set these factors equal to 0 as well to find solutions. And or
I also said something.
Cosine theta plus 5. Cosine theta plus 5 equals 0. When you solve, and you're left with cosine theta equals -1, or cosine theta equals -5. And you can go ahead and count this one out, because -5 is not even on the unit circle, so that's no solution. And the other, cosine theta equals -1, that is an actual value on the unit circle. So cosine is on the x-axis and sine is on the y-axis. So at x, cosine at the end of the unit circle at 2 pi, sine, or cosine equals 1. And on the left side of the unit circle, at pi, the value of cosine equals -1. So that is a value. So in radians, the pi, so where cosine theta is pi, or cosine of pi equals -1. So there's one value. And that is the only place that cosine theta equals -1. So now you have to solve for theta. But the only value where this can happen is at pi. So pi is your answer. Of course, if you do theta equals pi plus 2k pi, and you plug in any number or any number for k, it's going to be above or far below the 0 to 2 pi range. So if you plug in 0 for k, you have pi plus 0, which equals pi. That's in the range of 2 pi. And if you go for -1 for k, you have pi minus 2 pi. And that leaves you with -pi. And that cannot happen because that is far less than 0 in the range. And if you go for 1 as a value of k, you have pi plus 2 pi. And that yields 3 pi, which is over 2 pi, and that is not in the range. So the only value that you have is pi, and that is your answer.